as many of you know, this bailout is not the solution. It's not going to work. And
Hope
I've listened to
FL1.
people, there's a few of them out there that I listen to regularly that have been talking about some kind of a revolt, a tax revolt. I heard the word revolution.
I've been hearing the word revolution for 3 years. And the first time I heard anyone else say it out loud, it was a little old lady who worked behind the counter of a Walgreens. And I had happened to have mentioned the status of things. And she looked up at me from behind her clerk's counter and said, "There's going to be a revolution." Now, this woman was about 80 years old. Well, I'll say probably about 70. She was old. And it harkened me back to a time in American history when I'm certain there were old shopkeepers and storekeepers who were handing off pistols to their patrons. Now this is just a toy flintlock. I thought my boy might like it. But America is headed toward revolution. And first, Hope FL1, I want to thank you for your response video. I don't get very many of them, and when I do get them, I'm always awestruck by them. A lot of times people just remove their videos. I never try to remove my videos unless they're just so outdated or ridiculous, or some stuff that I had some fun with that no one else was supposed to see. Anyway, a revolution has to first start in your mind. First of all, you have to realize, wow, it might really come to this. What if? What if it really does come to this? Am I ready to stand beside other idiots and get shot at? Or am I a federalist who wants to stand on the side of government and burn and destroy the Constitution, which is the side you're going to be standing on whether you think about that or not? So you're either a constitutionalist or you're not. You're either for freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom and rights of individuals, or you're there to steal those things. But then, when everyone else is dead, there will finally be peace. It happens at the end of every war. But how long? It's going to take a year for America to walk on D.C., demand their resignations, hold a new vote, allow viable candidates from a plethora of parties. The time has come where Americans have to stop and realize that we can do this peacefully with that one move, and that is to demand the resignations of the people who are looking to oppress you. And changing this out, lost on my page, and changing this out in your mind first, eliminating your corruption. Okay, you have a car payment, and if you don't pay it, they're going to come and get it. That's not true. You have a home payment. If you don't pay it, you'll be homeless. Well, how many payments are you going to make when you're dead? You think your religion is going to protect you. You think, well, I'm going to die and I'm going to go to heaven anyway, so good for me. Well, good for you. But in the meantime, what will you tell God you did to help your fellow man? What can you say in your own lifetime that will change the way your grandchildren live? What kind of legacy will you leave? The RFID chip installed in your great-grandchildren, your great-great-grandchildren, foods that they eat that don't make them stronger, milk that they drink. Remember, the Constitution says promote the general welfare, not promote welfare, but promote the general well-being of your fellow man. It's sad we had to put it on a piece of paper just to treat each other right. But the Rothschilds, they work to kill you, and they don't care. They think of you as cattle, and I almost would stretch so far as to use the word goyim, or goya. There's different levels of goy. All goy are bad. According to the Rabbi Survival Gahan, gentleman I have in some of my subscriptions, he used to have 3 really great videos that talked about the goyim problem, or the non-Jew. But it basically boils down to cattle. How do we treat our cattle? We feed them meats that give them mad cow disease. We give them injections that poison our children. How do we treat our sheep? Much the same, only we shave them once a year as a relief, and then we reap the benefit of their clothing, their milk, their cheese. So someone else is benefiting from you. In America, the tax base is all wrong. These are the things that Thomas Jefferson warned us about with a central bank, which is why they made it mandatory that we had a U.S. Treasury, and that Treasury be backed with gold and silver. You can thank a couple of presidents. I almost understand why they did it. But the silver should have stayed. Instead, they made an oil-backed dollar. It's all part of the plan. I mean, they knew when they started this plan that a lot of these people would be dead before it was ever implemented. And the more you call for a new world order, the more you call for your death. The more you call for hunger and starvation all around this country, all around the world. America used to be the world's breadbasket. Now it's Russia. How did that happen? Oh, that's right. Corporate farming and tax breaks. We can take all these things back, America. They're ours. And they'll have a hell of a time getting it back without us. Our Constitution is here to protect us. Our freedom of speech, our right to keep and bear arms. Our personal property, our papers, our rights. America, first of all, you have to start a revolution in your mind, and then you can begin a revolution around the world. Because the Constitution can save everyone. We could almost use the Magna Carta to make a new world order under the Constitution. And instead of giving the power to a handful of Bilderbergers, the 13 blood tribes, or whatever that means, we'll remove their power because they've learned to live on comfort. They have people who serve them, people who fly them around. They don't take normal everyday flights. People who drive them, people who feed them, wash their clothing, and all they're left to do is free up to be able to use their mind and their money to intimidate and corrupt you. I'm going to stop with this video because I think I need to get some rest. But I'm going to be back tomorrow because I think what do you say? Do I look at America and say you're all idiots? I don't want to do that. Because in America we have the ability to learn. And most importantly, we have the ability to learn from our mistakes. So, corrupt your mind no more. Begin to think about how we can change these things. And on a lighter note, I'm almost beginning to think I could use some body armor. But like everyone else, we're all just going to be fish in a barrel, bang, bang, bang. Like Gaza, fish in a barrel. When they take away your gun, all you'll have left is rocks. How's that working out for Gazans? And that's how it's going to work out here. But video's almost over. See you later, America.